What? Hello? Hello? Cover that. That was 6. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, I can't see you on a video.
Oh, let me see video. Okay. Now you can see.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the others. I think one participant was entering with the old Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even me, I was worried because I have so many Zooms and it was telling me to go through some passwords. But the goodness is, I went through the ID password.
Why is he saying is okay? Janet is in. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hi.
Unmute. Mwambia, there are to unmute. Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, back again.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I think you were using the first, so we canceled that one and send a new one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I think there are two participants. Bonnie is not in yet. So, but we will start. You know, we are live, so we will start and they will join.
Oh, we are going live. It's not recorded and you post later.
No, it's live. Live in YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That is more nerve-wracking.
Well, how are you doing? Thank you for coming. I think we will start. This is KC TV, and today we are having diaspora daring Kenyans who are running for office in various districts in the state. So my name is Dr. Josh, and I want to introduce our wonderful guests. First, I want to introduce Henry Momanyi, a Kenyan American who has lived here for more than 2 decades. He's a candidate for Brooklyn Park City Council member from West District. Currently, is the early intervention navigator at GANS International. He's a community organizer specialized in outreach and communication, an avid volunteer in many community organizations, and always ready to help those who are in need. Holds a master's degree in business administration and a Bachelor of Commerce degree. Next, I want to introduce Janet Kitui, who is running for council member, the great city of Edina. And Janet has 20 years of professional experience in the corporate and the government sectors, whereas a small business owner, serving the state of Minnesota, Department of Employment and Economic Development, procuring goods and services, expertise in business analysis and driving optimal performance. She's a holder of a Master's of Business Administration from Hamline University and a Bachelor of Science in Business from Minnesota State University, Moorhead. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can see you are so daring. Why I call you so daring is what you have done, and congratulations for running for the different offices. Now, my first question is, what motivated you to go to politics? Janet.
The politics, I don't have a definitive point where I can, but I can go back as far as while I was in Kenya. God rest his soul, my uncle was the first person in the family to actually step forward and run, and he was fresh out of university. So it is from such trailblazers that I draw inspiration as to run. Why do I pick to run at this time? I truly believe the moment is now for us as a community to have full representation to step forward and run. When we have the two pandemics that are ailing us and affecting us more profoundly, it really impresses on me that time is of the essence. Right now is the right time to run. We have the pandemic of the COVID-19. We have the recent incident of George Floyd. those two have profoundly exposed the inequities that exist in our country, hence as our city. And I am running on 3 pillars, which are housing, racial equity, and sustainable growth. And I truly believe that a voice, there's a missing voice in our city right now, and that's the voice that I will be bringing forward to try and inform how we move forward as a community, representing all of us. And I run because politics is about the life of people. When you are in politics, you need to strive to bring forward policies that are building and uplifting all humanity. And that's the reason I run.
Okay. Well, by the way, what the name of your uncle who ran in politics in Kenya?
My uncle's name is late Ken Sitati Tete.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted for. So Henry.
Yes.
What motivated you to enter politics?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Josh Amandi, for this opportunity, and my fellow participants and the viewers where you are. Good evening. The reason why I was motivated to join politics is one, my background is in business management and leadership. But when you see my biography there, you can see that most of my work is concentrated in the community. I've been serving in this community for the last 17 years plus in areas of outreach and early intervention in immigrants and refugees and people of color. I have experienced so many problems that our people face in the community. And especially, you can agree with me, especially now, our people are suffering a lot. There are so many challenges which are facing people of color and immigrants. And given my experience, I feel like I am the right person who can go in, sit with those people where the decisions are made so that I can see if I can bring any change to those challenges that our people are facing. And that is basically the reason why I felt that I can join politics instead of complaining from outside. Let me go, if I'm elected, sit with those people where decisions are made to see what I can bring some change to our people in the community. I'm running on basically three platforms here: housing, economic development, and public safety. If you can agree with me, we are experiencing so many challenges in our community right now, or in the whole state of Minnesota. When we talk about housing, our people are, especially the tenants, most of them, they lost jobs during this time of COVID-19. Homeowners, they have also experiencing mortgage problems. I am learning to see if I can bring some change. I want to bring people, especially the landlords and the tenants, to have an agreement through the city of Brooklyn Park. And I will sponsor a registration whereby they will issue a moratorium for 6 to 12 months to allow homeowners and the tenants so that they can, after time, so that they can process their unemployment and also to look for employment, because most of them are displaced, they're not working. So I am learning to recommend that the city of Brooklyn Park must issue a moratorium to protect these people from being evicted.
Okay.
And also, and homeowners also from foreclosures. And when it comes to public safety, I am also learning to make sure that our people are not killed arbitrarily by the police using excessive forces. Also, I will recommend if we can have a task force to go into police and policing to make sure that in the Southern, those excessive forces which the police are using in killing our people are fixed. And then in the long term, we can allow other stakeholders and the interested parties to come in and see how they can fix this, because this has been a long problem in the United States.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer, and welcome, Boni Njenga. Izini has been struggling to come in, so I want to take this time also to introduce Boni. Boni Njenga is a Kenyan American immigrant, first generation, a candidate for Hennepin County Board of Commissioners, District 5, which covers the city of Bloomington and Edinburgh. A very valuable member in 50th District, community leader and an advocate. Is the new generation of Minnesota leadership with the new fresh policies. He has been campaigning to introduce evidence-based policy-making leadership to cap Hennepin County West Coast funding. So he's a father of two adults and daughters, 2 adults and a junior at Edina High School.
No, that's not me.
Did I introduce you? Welcome, Njenga is running on the district. We'll come back on that. But the first question we are asked, what motivated you to come to politics?
Well, thank you so much for having me. You can hear me, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for having me. What motivated me? I think the question should be, the question for me is because I feel like, especially as Kenyans, we tend to sideline ourselves. We tend to come to the US, gain education, get a professional job, move to the suburbs, and tend to be quiet until when something affects you. That's when you wake up and you're like, no, hey, you know what? I need to be active I need to be civically engaged. And for me, is that for the last 9-10 years, I've been active in the community, especially in Bloomington, Eden Prairie area. And I asked myself, how come you're not civically engaged? Especially, and I always say to people, especially if you're raising young kids here in this country, you should know who's your city councilor, you should know who is your school boards, and be active in this.
It's having an internet problem. We can't hear. And we lost you, I think. Hello? Oh, I think we'll come back. Bonnie, is something with your internet? I think he has an issue with the internet. So we'll come back to him.
It says,
hello? Yeah, I think he's struggling with the internet. Bonnie, you can hear us? Okay. Now, what do you intend to accomplish once? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, we lost you. What you said we didn't hear. The issue with your internet or what? This is new technology, we understand.
Right.
Yeah.
The summary was, that I've been very campaigning for us to be civically engaged, especially as Kenyans. We have been on the sideline for so long. We come here, gain education, get a professional job, and then we tend to move to the suburbs and not being active until something happens to you. That's when you end up being active. So I'm saying, we need to start having that knee-jerk reaction. We need to be more on the front lines.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think you have raised a very good issue, and why we don't participate, and why actually we have not participated. And I would say, Janet, I think you were the first person to fight that out. Why do you think most Kenyans don't want to be engaged with their city council. And if you ask so many of them, they don't know even their city council member. That's for sure. Janet, what do you think?
What motivated me to really be, I have always been engaged from the moment I got my citizenship, and I have truly believed in civic engagement from that time. But I truly got very excited when Barack Obama did run in 2008.
Okay.
My children then were young. I took them to every rally that Barack Obama showed up to in this in Minnesota. We went, we lined up and waited. And just seeing him up there and the hopes and change he did hold did definitely motivate me to do that. So why have I run? I have been very engaged in my community. I have been president for our parent-teacher organization. And that is when you start learning the operation of school, whether it is curriculum, whether it is the budget, what is going on into the schools. And it profoundly informed me how decisions are being made. And some of them are good, some of them are not good. In my community, the brown and black students, those who are intellectually smart, they will do fine. Those who are struggling and are a little behind and they just don't cause any waves, they are going to go under the radar. So it is after observing those things that I have decided it really involves someone to also try saying, we need help and we need resources allocated to this specific problem. Because if you identify a problem and you don't have the money and you don't have the manpower, nothing happens. No change is going to take place. But the other profound reason why I ran is in 2016 in our city of Edina here, a black man walking down the street was apprehended by an undercover cop. And that interaction was not peaceful. So just looking at simply walking down the street causes a police officer to say, apprehend you and handcuff you, a citizen of this country. That caused me to pause and say, why are we being treated this way? So I ran to truly be able to inform that. As a private citizen, my interaction with public safety shouldn't cause me to be nervous. I should be able to rely on
this question to you. What do you intend to accomplish if you are elected the city council member of Brooklyn Park?
Do you mean Edina or Brooklyn Park?
I asked Henry, but Henry doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Asked.
What's your question?
What do you intend to accomplish if you are elected the city council in Brooklyn Park?
Yeah, thank you so much. What I would like to accomplish if I'm elected to be the city council of Brooklyn Park, one is to make sure that there is inclusivity in decision making. Okay. And by that I mean, sometimes you find that some policies are, passed whereby other groups or other communities are not in, especially if you can see, especially police or public safety. You find that most of the people who are there, when they pass those policies, other communities are not represented. And hence, when they are doing their cleansing outside here, you find that there is a big challenges. They don't, it brings a big problem. There's no understanding between the citizens and residents of Brooklyn Park. So the first thing I will do is to make sure that there is inclusivity in every level in the city of Brooklyn Park. Number two, the problem housing. I will make sure that there is all the homeowners and the tenants are protected from those people who are, making decisions. For example, rent increment. You find that most of the landlords, they increase rent arbitrarily without, imagining how these people are going to afford it. That one I will put it to an end. Homeowners, they should also be protected from foreclosures, because when times like this now, everybody's facing these challenges, we want our people also to, to be safe.
Yeah, but I want a question there, Henry.
Yeah.
The city doesn't control the mortgages.
Yeah.
It's controlled by banks. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. What I will do as a reader, I will make sure that through the city of Brooklyn and those investors who come there, you see, we must have an agreement, because we are the people who legislate. The city councilors members are the people who legislate. So before these investors come in or house developers come in, we must make sure that we have an agreement on how we are going to protect the homeowners and the tenants when it comes to land. Yeah.
Okay, we will stop from there, and then because of time. Bonnie, you are running as a commissioner in Hennepin County. And, people, they should know that Hennepin County is a very big county. The for Hennepin County is $2.4 billion. And, the Kenyan budget, the national Kenyan budget was 27 billion US dollars. So you can imagine. So let us not look at a county. This is a very big county.
Right.
That is a budget maybe for 3 counties in Kenya.
Right.
How do you intend to, what do you intend to accomplish as a commissioner?
Before I answer that question, I want to go back to what Manu was saying earlier. Yesterday I was in Brooklyn Park and I found out that they passed a city ordinance, I believe 2-3 years ago, whereby right now Kenyans cannot, even not even Kenyans, only Africans themselves cannot have what's it called, like a barbecue with music in city of Brooklyn parks, and that shows you how important it is for us to be on the table, to represent our own interests. Imagine most Africans live in these 2 cities, and now most Kenyans tend to go to Golden Valley and all the surrounding cities, and you're like, how did such an ordinance pass when you have a majority of people who live there, the Africans, this is why this is
that's
running.
Very important.
But going back to my question, yes, the Hennepin County is one of the largest counties in the state of Minnesota. With actually last year they had a budget of 2.5 billion. What we are planning doing? One that I want to do, a couple of things that I'm running on is Hennepin County was sued. These last couple of years ago, and the judgment came out this year of them having an erratic child protective services. And Hennepin County will spend over $200 million for the next couple of years, trying to something that they could have fixed years ago. So that's one issue. Second issue is I'm running on creating community wealth. For example, we have so many immigrants who come to this country, and let's say they had some sort of professional back home. You have so many people who come with the professional, let's say like mechanics, and they come here and then they tend to go back to, they tend to work in group homes and so forth, and we need to have a way around that, whereby can we offer them grants, and the county does that. And this is people don't realize that the county can be able to help you to start a business, get some sort of course, get some sort of license that you need. The county can be able to offer you grants for you to start a small business. So that's one issue that I wanna make sure that I to aid immigrants when they come to this country. Quick something I want to advocate on closing. Minnesota has one of the worst achievement gaps in the whole country. I think it's number 2, if I'm not wrong. So that's what I want to fund. I want to make sure that we have after school programs. And I was in Eden Prairie a couple of days ago, and there was a community over there that has very good after school programs. That this year in Minnesota, if I'm not wrong, it's one of the best Minnesota, one of the young girls that won the Minnesota Best Essay competition came from a Somali community and came from an after school program. And these are the things that we need to fund, especially for our own communities.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Janet, you are not only you are a woman trying to break a ceiling. So you are trying to break 2 ceilings. And the third one from Edina. Yeah, you know, like, wow, many people go. So because of all of that, I know last time you ran a very good race and you were almost winning. So explain to us the election process, because there are many people who may want to vote for you, but how is the election process to get elected to this position?
So I'm going to want to separate the two. Is it election for me running as a candidate, or election as you casting your vote? I am very passionate about all of us casting our votes. It's
Okay.
the only way democracy works. We cannot be a democratic country or city if all of us are not participating. The good news about a city like Edina, last time when I ran, we have 98 participation rate of the registered voters. That is a very high turnout.
Yeah.
That means they are paying close attention to who they are electing. So it is very important when you go to cast your vote, you need to do your research on the candidate. What are your issues? Are they property taxes on a city level? How are your property taxes being utilized? What kind of expenditure are they spending on? And it runs anywhere from city services, that would be your water, snow removal, the parks. The money that you pay in is involved. The tax property is split between the city, the county, and the state. And it's from the taxes too that we finance, the property taxes, that we finance schools. When it comes to, okay, I have to be careful to separate. We have federal funding and we have state funding, and then property taxes or referendums to fund your local school. So when we have best performing schools, it's because the citizens of that city have decided to pass referendums to finance, whether it is capital improvement or technology. So when children are doing well in school, it's a direct result of those taxes and how they are being levied on the community. So to all my fellow citizens, it is crucial that we all get involved. Those closest to the pain are the ones who should be fully participating in our politics or elections, because that's how we get to enjoy. Otherwise, someone else is always going to be making the decisions for us. So as a candidate, there are several things to be done. I had forged very close relationship with City Council, and they know me on a first name basis. So being involved and showing up and paying attention to what decisions they're making when a developer comes to them and asks for a waiver for the zoning or a variance. There is some reason they're asking for a variance. So paying attention to that is very important. And I understand why some people are not being paying attention to that, because we don't have representation. No one looks like you on the council, so why are you going to show up? But precisely because of that, that's why we need to show up, so we can have our agenda advanced, whether it is from property taxes, what amenities we have in our community, the roads, what business comes to locate here so I can have employment close to where I live. All those things are impacted by local politics. So
okay,
we can talk forever. on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Thank you very much. Now I'm coming to Henry.
Yes.
Many people are asking, Henry, what is West District? Can you briefly explain? You are in Brooklyn Park, residents of Brooklyn Park who may want to be your supporters. One of them asked me, what do you mean? Which is the boundary? Where do I belong? They don't even know. So can you explain where is West District?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dr. Mandy. Number one, I can tell you, I can start with why do you want, what do I want people to support me in my elections? Elections matter. Elections matter. If you have any problem, your decisions are made by casting that vote. Everybody must vote. If you are eligible to vote, please make sure that you vote August 11 for primaries and November 3 for the general elections. Now, my constituency lands from 63rd and the Sen all the way to 85th. And then you make a left, come to West Broadway, you make a right, all the way to 109, you make a left, 169, then another left, then up to 160 and up to 63rd. All that area, that is my West District. So if you live in those, in that area, you are my
yeah, actually, Henry, I was just serving you. Also, the people will. I just put a map. So
yes,
you can,
that is Zen and 63rd, all the way to 85th.
The one which is in purple, right?
Yes.
This area.
Yeah.
So from down there, is that 85th?
Yeah, and then you make a left to West Broadway.
Okay, you go all the way to
109.
109.
Then you make a left.
Okay.
169. All the way back to south to 63rd, and then you make another left. That is my area. That's West District.
Okay.
And one of the, actually, is the epicenter of Brooklyn Park when it comes to businesses. Most of the businesses are located in Brooklyn Park, West District. So you can imagine all our people who live in that area, you need to elect me if you want your voices.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, Bonnie, tell us about your district. Where does your district 5? People don't know to vote for you.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, so Minnesota has 87 counties. Dakota, Hennepin, Washington, Ramsey, and so forth. So Hennepin County, which I'm running, has 7 districts, and I'm running District 5. District 5 covers Eden Prairie, Bloomington, and Richfield.
Okay, just go on. I'm
okay.
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, maybe that's your Hennepin County and the district.
Correct. So you see, it has 7 counties, and so I'm running on District 5, which is Eden Prairie, Bloomington, and Richfield. And I believe this year 4 seats are open. That's District 5, 6, 7, and 1. So actually, same seat that actually even where Janet is, the seat is open on the commissioner seat, and also Brooklyn Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So on my district 5, I guess I've been fortunate enough that we do not have a primary because the Minnesota law states that if 2 candidates are running, there's no need of primary. So I'm going to go directly to the
November, to the general election.
That general election, yeah.
Okay.
So that sounds personal right now.
Well, now people at least they know where you are. Janet, is Edina? You don't have districts. You run the Oro Edina City, right?
It is an at-large race. We do not have wards as such. It's a yeah.
Is you and then they take number 1 and 2, or what they do?
Yep, the top 2 vote getters will be seated. We do have 2 seats.
Okay.
So, and yeah, there are 2 seats, but the council is constituted of 5. the mayor and 4 council members. And so we have a rotation whereby we have two seats up for election every other year.
Okay. So yeah, so it means the whole of this have to get voted, but they take the top 2.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to make that clarification so that people understand like where you're running from, which is very good. Now, you being an immigrant, how will your boldness change the perception of the many immigrants in this country? Bonnie, you go first.
Be a big immigrant, how my boldness?
Yeah, your boldness, it is. I mean, we have to congratulate you guys. Take a lead on this.
You know, I was listening to NPR a couple of days ago, and what's her name? The one at 11 o'clock. She was hosting a few women who are running for different seats in Minnesota, and one of them said it definitely does take courage to run for public seat. You know, you get scrutinized. You know, people get to know so much about you and so forth. Definitely, that does take courage. I don't think that. I don't think being an immigrant is an impediment to us. Personally, for me, I think because if you start seeing it as an impediment, then you won't do anything. I think this country is, it gives everybody a chance to do whatever you do. At the same time, I'm running on policies. That's my background. I'm not running to create name or to be a leader just to be a leader. I'm running on a platform that I've done research for the last couple of years. So I don't feel like an impediment. I feel it's a plus, yeah.
Thank you. Henry.
Yes.
What do you think your boldness will to other people?
Thank you very much. I am learning on integrity, transparency, and accountability. And this goes back to my 17 years in the community. What I've done, what I've achieved, all my constituencies, and those people of color, immigrants, and refugees. No, I sit with so many people of different, levels. I feel like to offer and to deliver to our people does not mean that you must be born in the United States. I was born in Kenya, came here, I'm a citizen for the last 15 plus years. So if I have something to deliver to my people, I don't have to think that, I'm an immigrant.
Okay.
What I do to my people matters than my origin. So that's why I'm learning to deliver, to be part of the process that it can bring change in the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Janet, what do you think your boldness would influence people?
Diversity of ideas, how an approach to policy creation is what I'm looking forward to. For instance, when it comes to a very expensive city that I live in, and we have the housing part, how do we serve creatively to get people who are on the low end of the spectrum to be able to achieve the American dream of home ownership? If you have any historical context for housing, back in the 1930s and 40s, we had restrictive covenants. And those restrictive covenants have had profound impact on us as immigrants, any brown and black people, in terms of access and home ownership. And so where you live has so many social determinants on the trajectory of where you go in terms of your success in holding a job, owning a business. The zip code you live in has an impact. And this is all rooted in the housing policies that were created way back in the 30s. We may never realize how powerful that is, but it is now us having noticed that coming to the table and saying, how do we dismantle the very strong foundation on which home ownership or even rental has been built, which has resulted into racial segregation. When we have the uprising that just happened recently, that is a symptom of what is ailing our society. It really isn't the root of the problem. It is a symptom. George Floyd dying is a symptom, but we need to be able to have diverse voices at the policy table to try and change that. Because if we keep having the same people reproducing the same kind of outcomes based on their knowledge, we are not going to change. So I run to be able to bring a diverse ideas on what the problems are, how I see it from my viewpoint, and therefore bring about a different strategy to change the outcomes of the policies that are being thought or being put in place. So that's why I ran.
Yeah, and I want to follow up with a comment you made about children struggling in schools. And I mean, when they go to school and they don't get a voice. And I had an example when my daughter came from Kenya, and she was school district, so that they had to give you some assignment, and then they told my daughter that you have to go to class, at least you have to go for English as a second language. They were saying, no, why? So they insisted that he has to go for that class. So she went to the class. She went 1 week. Then the teacher called her and said, what are you doing in this class? You don't belong here. Then he recommended to go to the class because she wasn't. And following that, your question, what would you advise people like they need to follow up, like an election like school board?
School board is one of those local politics that is so profoundly powerful. The school board hires the school superintendent. The school superintendent is the administrator of the many buildings that are in your school district. They hire the principals of those school districts. The principals do administer the policies that are created by the school board. So the curriculum is set at the school board, or they create it in conjunction with the superintendent, and the superintendent is in charge of implementing it. So it is so important for us to understand it's a volunteer position, but it has such a powerful impact on the education our children receive as students. For instance, here in Edina, all of us, I believe we've read the book, Things Fall Apart, Chinua Achebe. 10th grade reading in literature. It's a literature book for 10th grade. It created such controversy during school board meetings a few years ago. Unfortunately, I can't say whether it was eliminated or not, but it is such material that opens up all the students, both Caucasian and brown and black students, that they can have a diverse perspective, that other people are actually authors and learn things about different parts of the world. But if we only allow certain school board members, they only advance certain books and others are left out. But Chinua Achebe, as you and I know, was a prolific and respected author of African heritage. So being involved in politics, city council, school board, personally, it is very dear and close to my heart. It is a very powerful position, and it's so important that our people understand that impact. The dollars amount that is allocated to different things. Special education, we have the gifted and those students who are struggling. They do have a budget that is allocated to them, but sometimes the gifted and talented students get the more funding, and the other students who are also special ed, who are struggling, are not funded equally. That's where they start being left behind. And yeah.
Thank you very much. Henry, do you have a comment on that?
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to comment on that. And like Janet has said, all of us as parents, we really need to be part of that. We need to be going for, frontier. That's frontier basis there, but it makes a change. It brings a difference. I am in advisory board with African Immigrant Services, and 2 years ago in Oseo district, we changed the policy on lunch because the lunch which was being served to our pupils, our students there, was based on the white students. But now our students from the African, diverse, they were not getting the food or the lunch that they are used to it.
Wanted. Okay.
So when we went there, we changed that policy. And right now we have an African caterer who serves African food in the Oseo district.
Oh,
good. Or in all levels, let us try to be, in those spots. It makes a difference. It is very important because it is not a paid job, yes. Even the one that we are now contesting for, even the council member is not paid for per se, but it's because you want to bring change in the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bonnie, you have something to say on that?
Yes. We know there's a study that was done by NPR a couple of years ago, and it showed that I think it was Kennedy High School or Jefferson, one of them. It showed that immigrant kids, Africans to Asian kids, Native Americans, when they're studying grade 1, they're very happy to learn and just to be in school, grade 1, grade 2, grade 2, and grade 3. And then once when they go to grade 4, they tend to wanakufa moyo, I don't know,
Okay.
So, and the study was, and I wish I can find the study. They're trying to figure out what happens, and they find out that is a teacher that has some sort of biasness, and they don't give that kids who are different from what they know. They don't give them that one-on-one attention or trying to just to them to learn. And so definitely, as Jenna said, it's very important for us to definitely have diverse teachers, and definitely as a county commissioner is to fund for us to have bias classes and see how we can improve for them to understand our community. At the same time is us as immigrants, we need to learn how to balance our lives, because we tend to, for you and me grew up in Kenya, and grew up in Kenya, our teachers, our parents, our teachers, our disciplinaries and everything, but in the US is that, that's not the teacher's responsibility. So as parents, we need to be able to, how can you also get involved, get involved in PTAs and so forth. You need to know what courses your kids is being taught. Otherwise, if you leave all responsibility to your teacher, the teacher won't give your kid what what he or she needs. So it's a balance also on both sides.
Okay. Now, as you guys on this community, and so you represent us, you represent our views, and this is a very busy time for you that you are doing campaign. Now, I want to give each one of you to give a personal appeal. What will you want your community to help you during this campaign period? So start with Henry.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Mandy, once again. As we understand, these are very bad times when it comes to COVID-19. I would want everybody to observe the universal precautions that are issued by the federal, state, and city, regulations, social distancing, and washing your hands and wearing the masks. That is very important because we want you to be there so that you can vote for me in November. Number 2, we have elections now are going on, especially in our city of Brooklyn Park. Early voting is on. We want everybody who is eligible to start voting, and it is August 11. That is the area primaries. So please participate. your participation is very important. Change comes from you. When you want to change something, change yourself. If you start voting, that means you are heard. All decisions you make, they are heard. Number 3, we have census, which is going on. Census is very important. This is very, very, very important, please, in our community. It is through census that we get all this money that comes to the cities for planning, for all this development which goes in various departments. You know, you need to be part of that census. Fill that form, is only 10 minutes, and then you are good to go. And more importantly, please remember, if you want somebody that who can represent you in your challenges that you are going through right now, I am the person. I have experience in the community cleansing. I've been there for 17 years in various levels as an outreach specialist, and I had intervention navigator. You can trust in me on all those challenges that you are facing so that we can bring this sanity in our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Janet.
Yes. My request to all my fellow citizens is please show up and vote. And in Minnesota, we do very well voting, even statewide. We have mail-in ballots going on, and if you request your ballot for mail-in, you'll be doing it both for the primaries and November 3rd. And they've made it so simple. You don't have to have an excuse to vote early, and it's going on right now. So please get out and vote. As far as the personal support I could request, visit www.janetforidina.com, learn more about why I run, and on it, there is a form to complete, volunteer for my campaign. COVID-19 has really altered my campaign strategy. The door knocking is really minimized, but we still have a lot to do. We can phone bank, we can text. I do need donations to my campaign so I can be able to mail literature to those who I cannot reach out via social media and otherwise. So that's the way, the various ways you can support my campaign. But more importantly, all of us need to be involved and vote. Vote today, vote often, vote on November 3rd. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Bonnie.
Yes. Are these closing remarks?
Yes.
Well, I've been saying lately is that to everyone that whenever you stay at home, someone is making a decision for you that affects you every day. And it's very important to have somebody that understands you and that can make a decision for you. And I want to say that most of us, when we tend to run, most campaigns in the US especially, they are run on donations. And our community is not, either they're not aware of that or probably they're not aware of that. And so people tend to give you all the congratulations, you're brave, you're courageous, and so forth. But what's most needed is donations, as Janet said. And I want to say this, my fellow Somalis have fundraised for me twice the last couple of months. This month, the Nigerians that I don't even know them, they're going to be fundraising for me. But when it comes to our own communities, it seems like, even somebody told me that I need to make an appointment with them. And when you talk about this, because it's very interesting, you need to invest. You need to invest on your people and the people running. Yes, it's good to tell them, or give them all the good sentiments, but at the same time, donate. That $5 is going to send literature. That $5 will buy a stamp. That $5 is going to do Facebook ads. And for somebody like me who's running in 3 cities, 60% of the campaign funds goes to staff, and I don't even manage the money. It has a committee that does that. So the money does not go to the candidate. So I want to make clear that. So to my community, because this is a community platform, is that please invest on your candidates. If there's somebody, if Kenyan is opening a shop, do buy in their shop. If a fellow Kenyan is running for, or any African running for a seat, please fundraise for them, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Bonnie, we were from our country, politicians give, so tunataka utupatie chai kitu kidogo. But it's a good narrative. I think we will need to meet with some other community leaders to see you guys how we can be able to help you. It has to start somewhere. So be patient with us. It's a new thing. So, but I want to say congratulations, and I want to wish you the best of luck in your endeavor. We will support you where we can. Don't feel ashamed to come to us. We are going to support you, and our community is very good. It's now that we are starting. At least I want to thank our sister Janet, who had started earlier. It was new, but we tried a little bit. But this time we are going to do much better. It's only because of COVID. So with that, we want to end our discussion, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother and sister.
Okay.
Can you end the live, and then I'll talk to Janet for a few minutes and Henry for a few minutes. Can you end the live session and then?
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Where's more?